a little tricky, isn't it? Getting it
a little tricky.
A little tricky. It's
there's this much setup.
Well, it could be easier, but I'm making it harder on purpose, I think. Just makes it feel like
the hummingbirds.
Oh, look at that.
He's coming over to visit us.
Those are like the golden snitch of the nature world, or hummingbirds.
There's
another one right there. Look at that.
Yeah, I run the Facebook page all the time up here with the hummingbirds.
Well, John, we're rolling, so we're good to start. And
okay, let's start.
Let's do it. Ready?
Ready.
You rolling?
Yeah.
And action. Hey, everybody, this is John. And what's your last name, John?
Kuhn, Kuhn.
There we go. Kuhn?
Kuhn. Yeah.
So John Kuhn's been up here for 18 years. We're just chatting off camera. And we'll just talk to each other from here. We don't have to think about the cameras at all. But that's the audience right there.
Okay. Hi, audience.
But John's got a lot to offer to the community. I mean, there's 18 years of knowledge there. There's also 91, almost 92 years of living as well, right?
Yeah, we love it here. In fact, I've lived here longer in one place than I have in my entire life. And I grew up in Rochester, New York. And when moved to California when I was in my early 20s, in the hotel business for so many years. And I can probably get you around most cities in the United States because of being in the hotel business. What we did for the company I worked for, we took over hotels that were in financial trouble. They sent me in as general manager, and my job was to put the thing back together again and sell it. So usually every 2 years I put myself out of business and they sent me to another hotel to do the same thing. And it almost makes you want to cry when you walk into one of those hotels that are bankrupt. They've been beating up the employees for the last 4 or 5 years instead of trying to go out and get business. But fortunately, I was good with employees and getting business turned around, getting sales force together and putting the hotels back together and selling them. So I did that for so many years.
So you started your career doing hotel service and whatnot. When did that start? What year did you start working in that field?
Well, I started right out of college when I was 19 years old. I wanted to get my foot in the door, so I worked as a bellman. Then they put me on a training program. And by the time I was 27 years old, I managed my first hotel.
At what age was that?
That was in 1971.
At 47 or?
No, I was in my early 20s.
Oh, 27.
Yeah.
Good.
And I managed the hotel for Corning Glassworks. They had a hotel in Corning, New York. And I was there for 7 years. And then I moved to California and started a hotel business there. And eventually ended up with a company that took over hotels that were in all parts of the country.
Like a bigger franchise.
Well, what we did a lot of work for Prudential Insurance Company. We took over the hotels that were in financial problems.
Yeah.
So I started out, my first hotel was in St. Louis. From St. Louis, I went to Minneapolis. From Minneapolis, I went to Detroit. From Detroit, I went to Minneapolis again, and then back to Memphis, Tennessee.
Wow. What year was this in, by the way? Was this?
Oh, I don't remember the exact year, but in Memphis, it was 35 years ago. So.
Wow.
I met my wife there 35 years ago. We took over a hotel. It was a Hyatt Regency. We converted it to an Omni hotel.
Right.
And we successfully sold it after about 4 years. And then they sent me to a hotel in Ocala, Florida. And I took over a hotel there, which was a Hilton, really nice hotel. And we eventually sold the hotel. And I retired. But the problem was that when I retired, I was in competition with George Steinbrenner, the owner of the Yankees. He owned the hotel that was in competition with me at the time. So he said, "John, come back and work for me for a couple of years, will you please?" I said, "Okay, I'll work for you, George."
This is the owner of the Yankees.
The owner of the Yankees.
You're talking with the owner of the Yankees saying
this. He said, "Come back to work for me for a couple of years." I said, "Okay, I will." So 10 years later, I retired again.
So you went up to bat again, and then you put the bat back down again.
Yeah.
In metaphorical.
So we made it very successful. He had a Marriott Courtyard Hotel. Very successful. It was losing money when I took over.
Yeah.
So I retired 35 years, or 10 years I spent with George, and retired again, moved here to Florida. In Florida, I had 5 acres of land, 2 horses, 2 dogs, a swimming pool. So we downsized and we love it here. And unfortunately, my wife passed away last November.
Yeah, you mentioned that. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
But you're 91 now, so you've lived a lot of life.
Right.
I mean, you mentioned you have some grandkids, you have some kids. How many grandkids are there currently today that you have?
Well, we have 8 grandkids altogether, and then we have 3 great grandkids, and they all live in Albuquerque. The great grandkids live in Albuquerque, and my grandkids live in. One lives in California, one lives in Austin, Texas.
Okay.
And my son lives in Virginia Beach. And we lost one of our grandchildren to cancer again. So,
okay.
But my son and my stepson are living with me here. They take good care of me here. We're living here.
And they're here with you in SunCrest.
SunCrest.
I was going to say, who's shoveling this snow? Because obviously you can shovel still the snow.
My stepson uses a snowblower, so got a lot of films of him snow blowing.
Yeah. But you mentioned you moved to SunCrest and it's your favorite place you've lived.
Right.
And we were talking off camera, you love to ski, so there's a lot there for you to offer. It was not just SunCrest, but there was a lot of things that were close by.
Well, I skied at Alta.
Yeah.
In fact, 2 winters I worked as a lifty at Solitude.
You worked as lifty at Solitude?
Yeah, as a lifty at Solitude. Beep, beep.
When was that? Was that when you had moved here and you were living here?
I was living here, yeah. And I had to stay active. I couldn't sit around all year.
Okay.
And then I worked at South Mountain Golf Course for 13 years.
Wow.
And I finally had to retire from there with the Parkinson's, but
gotcha.
I still have lots of friends that I used to golf with at South Mountain.
You seem like you're always kind of drawn to, or it's drawn to you. Leisure and hospitality seem to be going in hand with your life. You seem to find people who love quality, right?
Yeah, I love being around people.
Yeah.
In fact, now I spend most of my time on my iPhone talking to people from all over the country, ex-employees.
You just call them up, or?
No, they contact me for some reason or other. So I still have a lot of contacts.
Yeah.
And I go on one of those dating services and I find people and I talk to them, and so I stay busy.
Yeah. No, you're extremely healthy. I mean, Parkinson's is something that's it's going to happen. These things happen as you age, right? Being 91, you're in great health, John.
I ride my bicycle twice a day.
Do you?
30 minutes twice a day. I do 3 miles twice a day on my bicycle, and I never miss a day.
Really?
Never miss a day.
Because I would say you don't look a day over 60 if I was just bumping into you in the street, you know?
Yeah, what I used to do is I worked out at Treehouse quite a bit. Then when they built the new Draper putting down there on by the Chevron station, the new workout facility.
Yeah.
I used to swim there every day.
Oh, you'd swim and stuff too.
Yeah, swim. I used to swim there every day.
Wow.
In fact, Bob and Sharon probably wonder whatever happened to me. They were the people that worked there every morning.
You kept them in business. You kept them in business just by yourself, just going all the time. So you have like all these different career paths. But what's fascinating to me is how mentally sharp you are at your age. You know what I mean, John? Like you're very 100% there, and it's impressive to me.
Well, one of the things that I did, the people that don't know about it with Parkinson's, but you can do something to alleviate some of the problems. The procedure they call ultrasound, which they go in with a radar into your brain and stuff that's terminated in your right hand. They couldn't do both sides because of my age, but it's something that if you have Parkinson's, you look into ultrasound. It's done here at the university.
So you went down and did that treatment on one side.
Yeah, I did that 5 years ago.
Okay. You seem to be doing well, though. I mean, it hasn't progressed so far that you can still speak, you can still move around, whatnot.
Well, I used to walk the neighborhood every day too, and then people would come out and talk to me. So I got to know a lot of people in the neighborhood, and we have very good neighbors on both sides of the house.
Yeah.
And one neighbor's moving out. They're moving back to California. The other neighbor moved with a daughter back to Logan, Utah. So I lost both of my good neighbors, but we so far we replaced them with the good neighbors also.
Yeah.
Not worried.
I think what happens with SunCrest is people choose to be like, you'll see people move in and they'll be like, yeah, SunCrest is such an awesome place. And then winter hits and they're like, I got to get a different place to live. And you'll watch all these moving trucks come in every season. They'll move out. But the people that stay, though, they're always choosing to stay. You know? Just like you've chosen to stay here. Is it 18 years, John?
Well, when we first moved here, there was a pile of dirt when we came and looked at this property.
Nothing but dirt.
We decided to come skiing with my daughter.
Yeah.
And we took the day off with my wife and I, and we said, we looked at Thanksgiving first of all. I said, no, I don't like this area. So we were driving back down 15 and we see a sign that says SunCrest. So my wife says, let's drive up here. We get halfway up the mountain and she says, I could live here. I go, oh, wow. She was skiing and I go, I always wanted to ski it off. She wants to live here. We went to the sales office and they took us up and we stood on this piece of property with a mound of dirt and we had the house built.
So you built this house?
Yeah, the builder built this house.
Oh, yeah.
We were the original builder of this house.
So you're the only person that's owned this deck, that's owned this view. It's been you the whole time. Right. How cool is that? This is like, so you've taken this in, you've watched this develop behind you.
Oh, there was nothing there. There used to be moose and elk down there and coyotes.
If you're hungry, you just pull it.
I would never shoot them anyway, but we had herds of 50, 60 elk. Once in a while, you'll still see it in the SunCrest page where they're down there by Smith.
Yeah.
Crossing the highway. Well, that's the same elk herd that used to belong up here.
Really?
Yeah.
So generationally, it hasn't left.
The generation, they haven't left, but they just kind of moved because of all the houses around here.
Yeah.
We consider this a fire break.
Is that what it is? Just protects you from...
Protect my house. They got to burn down all those houses before they get to me.
Before it was you. You were the first house to burn, right?
Right. Before we were the first ones because we lived in this area, came right up to the highway. But now with all these houses there.
Yeah, and this road's gotten a little bit bigger since you moved in too. This was not even really here before. It was only one road to come up?
The SunCrest Drive was open.
Okay, it was already here.
It was already here.
Okay. Wow.
I was told by one of the people that lived here, I used to play golf with, that the cars were lined up with an opening day when they cut the ribbon for everybody to drive up here to buy lots.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, that would have been like, what, 2000 and, what, like 4 or 5 or something?
Maybe earlier than that.
Earlier? 2002? We're talking like Y2K, like back in the 2000s.
Yeah, I think it was around 2000 when they originally built this place. Original people were going bankrupt. Then it was taken over by the bank.
That's what I heard, yeah.
Giants Bank took it over. Then somehow the city got involved, and the city owns most of the land up here now.
Yeah, it was kind of a conundrum of sorts, and then it got ironed out, and even the school districts had like certain areas, and now you can go either way, and a lot of work a lot of great people put a lot of work in to make that beneficial.
Well, the other thing that people with young children look at this area too, because you're above the inversion. And the school districts are fantastic.
Yeah.
Can you imagine one high school in the United States has 2 quarterbacks that are in the NFL?
From this geographic area?
No, but with the high school, Corner Canyon High School has 2 quarterbacks that are in the NFL.
Really?
Yeah, Jason Dyer and Zach Wilson.
You got to get him on the show.
Yeah, get him on the show. Dyer is with the New York Giants, and Wilson is with the backup quarterback with the Miami Dolphins.
No way.
Both of them graduated as quarterbacks at Corner Canyon High School. Yeah.
So whatever we're doing here, we got to keep doing it. Whatever's in the water is keeping us healthy.
Yeah. Can you imagine the 2 of them from the same high school?
That doesn't seem like statistically very likely, but I guess it is.
Yeah.
You know, that's crazy. So
like if you have 1 quarterback from your high school that makes it to the NFL.
I mean, I don't know anybody that's made the NFL, so that's a huge statistical.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know that many people though, so who knows? Yeah. So you remember like something I keep thinking about, John, is you remember a life before this existed, but also there was like no iPhones. There was you grew up around a different world. You know, I'm talking to somebody who has seen everything I've seen, but then there's like a lot I haven't that you've lived, that I've read in books and things.
When I was a child, we played outside all day long.
Yeah.
My mother used to say, when the street lights come on, you got to be home.
Yeah.
Other than that, we go in for lunch, and by the way, we play football, basketball, baseball, whatever it was. In my side yard, we had a basketball court. In the garage, we had a basketball net. We were always playing some kind of sports as kids.
Yeah. And then you didn't even have television as kids.
I didn't even have television until I was a senior in high school.
What did you think when you saw it for the first time? Was it magic?
Well, we used to have to go to my grandmother's house because she had television.
This was like, you graduated in what year?
1953, I graduated
53.
from high school.
Man, like Elvis was playing on the radio. You had...
Well, rock and roll wasn't even invented until I was in college.
It was young kid music.
Rock Around the Clock was the first. Was Bill Haley in the comments.
I'm trying to think what was invented when I was in college. That seems relevant, you know. But that, so you heard that in college, and you were already had your favorite music.
Right.
What was it?
It was Frank Sinatra.
Yeah, that's awesome. It was like a record player.
Bing Crosby, Frank Sinatra.
Yeah.
Those people. Then when rock and roll came out with Rock Around the Clock, we go, oh, what is this?
Were you into it?
Yeah, because I was playing in a band. I played the drums in a little band. So, this is really neat stuff. So I had to learn all over again to play rock and roll.
So you had to learn how to play drums again a new way.
Yeah.
What was different in the technique?
Well, we had to change the rhythm entirely because it was a little more upbeat. Everything else was slow.
It was fast.
Dragged out,
Yeah.
Not very exciting. And I was in college and played in the band. And we did all the dances and everything when I was in college. I went to Paul Smith College, which is in the Adirondacks.
Where is it?
It's in the Adirondack Mountains in New York State.
Okay, New York. Right.
I went there for skiing.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, well, you have to take some subject. And they said, well, what's the easiest? They said, hotel management. I said, no, I'll take that.
Little did you know. That's the next, how many years of your life? 20, 30 years? You said 30 years of work in that industry?
No, I was 20 years old till I was 70.
Oh,
50 years.
50 years. That's a lifetime.
Hotel business.
I bet you learned a thing or two doing it that long.
Yeah.
What was the big thing you learned though, John? Like you took a lot in, you watched a lot change. Technology changed every, decade for you, it seems.
Well,
but
especially in the hotel business, because we had really no way of keeping reservations or keeping the hotel full. We could change the room rates every hour on the hour if we wanted to. If we got to a certain point, we would change the room rate by $5 or $6. Got to another point, we could change it again. We were almost filled up. We changed the rate another. But all this is done with technology and computer science.
So what do you think's missing today that used to exist in that industry that you think makes a lot of sense, but it's missing? Is there anything?
I don't think a lot has changed as far as dealing with people.
Has it?
No, that hasn't changed. You still have to deal with people. You have to deal with their complaints and their wants and their not wants but it's very interesting industry because you're always dealing with people all the time.
So no matter what happens with the technology or the systems or the people's needs are the same.
That's correct. Yeah, that's correct. And you got to give a good service, clean room.
Okay.
Take care of your employees. That's the biggest thing.
So when you had how did you manage difficult people, John? Because you seem to have a gift of managing conflict. Is that something that you did well?
Difficult people I brought over to my side and showed them the right way to do things. Okay. Some people you could never change, so you just pushed them out the door.
So you were in charge of the hotel? Right. Really?
Yeah, the hotel and the restaurant. Sometimes I have 400-room hotels.
How many employees did you manage in that?
Sometimes 100 employees.
So they were scared. Some people were scared of you because you were their boss.
No, they were never scared of me.
Never scared.
They respected me, and they knew that I was in charge. I would go down to the laundry room, and with the girls in the laundry, I'd help them fold sheets.
Okay.
I go to the housekeeping department and I give the people the inspection. I give them $100 whoever had the best inspected room. But I'm always working with the employees. They were the difference between being successful or not being successful. And I always hired good salespeople and get them out of the hotel and get them out there selling.
Out of the hotel selling.
Yeah, get them out of the hotel because you walk into sales force, they want to sit in their office all day.
They want to be comfortable.
They're comfortable, but I make them uncomfortable.
Really?
Go out and sell. But you bring me some business today. Get out and sell.
Yeah.
One of the girls said to me the other day, she said, you used to work for me. John, you used to yell, sell, sell, sell.
You would yell that?
She still remembers.
Yeah. So you'd work alongside your teams. You wouldn't tell them what to do, but you'd show them what to
Right,
do.
yes.
Okay. And is that intuitive for you? Did you learn that by working with somebody or people around you?
I don't know. It's just something that I always had in my instincts. Something that I just was born with, I guess.
Yeah.
I had a lot of empathy for employees because I was an employee once, making minimum wage and living on tips.
What was the wage back then? Minimum wage?
I think it was $1.50, something like that.
Hear that, babysitters? $1 an hour.
In fact, my first job as a bellman, they called me to the accounting office and said, what are you doing with your checks? I said, what do you mean? He said, well, you haven't cashed them. He said, if you don't cash them, they're going to void them.
Mm.
I said, I never needed the cash for the checks because I made so much money on tips.
Did you get cashing the checks?
So I finally had to go cash the checks. Cash the checks for maybe $1 or maybe $50 or something like that. That was peanuts for me with what I was making in tips.
Really?
Yeah.
So you were being a bellboy, so you were picking up luggage and moving it onto carts and out
That
of...
was my first job out of college.
Really?
But I knew I wanted this hotel company I knew I wanted to work for. So I said, the only opening they had was a bellman. I said, I'll take it.
I'll take it. They didn't have wheels on luggage back then.
Yeah.
They hadn't invented that yet.
No.
So you just pick it up, just set it down.
My brother was a bellman with me. So one night, he was a great Cleveland Browns fan. One night, Otto Graham comes in and checks out of the hotel. So the girl at the front desk hits the bell and my brother runs up and checks him in. I said, George, do you know who you just checked in? He goes, no, he looks familiar. I said, that was Otto Graham. He goes, oh my God.
Really? So you must have interfaced with some pretty high-level people working in that field and having exposure. What was your favorite experience you had from, like a story you love to tell from that era? Is there anything that stands out to you?
No, not really. I guess, well, one of the things that I did, we remember when I was in Ocala running the hotel, they decided to open up the Ted Williams Museum.
Mm-hmm.
So we had all these stars come in and register at the hotel. We had Mickey Mantle, Joe DiMaggio, Don DiMaggio, Rizzuto. I have all the registration cards signed on the same day and all the signatures.
You have it?
Well, I gave it to my nephew.
Okay.
He's a big Yankee fan, so I gave it to him.
Wow.
But can you imagine having all those same names on the same day signed?
I don't think people have experienced that that's probably rare, especially back then.
Yeah.
I mean, the only way you saw that type of stuff was maybe television. Was it even on television at that point? Was sports broadcast at that point?
Oh, listen to Mel Allen, Yankee baseball.
Yeah.
In fact, when I was in high school, the World Series was such a big deal that we had a special room that we could go to and listen to the Yankee game on
The radio.
radio.
Yeah. Because it wasn't televised, because there wasn't...
It may have been televised, I'm not sure, but the school would do it in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So everybody in East Rochester was a Yankee fan. So.
Yeah. So you were like just living in this kind of, this growing, but not changing that much system, but you had this focus on people, right?
That's the main thing.
Yeah. That's a good way to keep your job and keep your career going is people, right? And with there's a lot of people now that are like, oh, we don't need people because we have machines, you know. And that ever happened in your lifetime where you're like,
no?
Because I remember there was this time where people would play music in front of businesses instead of records playing them.
Right.
And those people all lost their jobs to record players, right? So you saw this.
I had good entertainment in the lounges that I managed, the hotels that I managed. I always had top name entertainment.
You always had top entertainment. Yeah.
Not famous names, but real good entertainment.
Why was that important to you versus using a record player back then?
Well, it was a big difference. We always had a happy hour in every one of the hotels that I had in the lounge. In fact, one hotel I put 3 for 1 in, which would be outlawed today.
I mean, it depends on the hotel you're at, I guess.
And this was in Detroit.
Okay.
And then in order to get the Ford Motor Company business just down the street in the hotel, I set up a lobby bar, so the people come in from Ford got a free drink every night. So I turned the whole business around just by doing that.
Yeah, it's fascinating how simple things can turn a business around like that. So you would say there's all these complex, and people come with strategies and they'd tell you what to do, but you'd say, oh, there's a true North Star. It's people, right?
Yeah, I never stopped thinking.
Yeah.
I was always trying to find out something new and something different.
Yeah.
That would attract customers and build the hotel business back up again.
I bet that made you super valuable for the team you're working with. And they'd lose you. I'm sure they were grievance to losing you.
I found out many years later, they used to have board meetings and they said, well, we're going to send John to a hotel. He can't possibly succeed there. And one of the guys told me, damn, he did it again.
No, we just got to figure out how to make you in charge of the Ridge and turn that around.
I could turn that restaurant around in a very short period of time. Give me a few bucks and I'll turn it around.
What would you do with your experience? Because you have all this industry knowledge of people, and there's people here that have no idea what to do with that building. What would you say to them?
I would make it for people to congregate, not make it like a big business. What I would do, maybe start by putting in just coffee and some kind of soft drinks and tea, and maybe have a few little hors d'oeuvres or something.
Something that can sit on a shelf for months and not go bad.
Yeah. There's something items that, like maybe he has some beer, something like that for sale that you could buy. You don't want to run all the way down the mountain to pick up.
It's like a little grocery store almost.
Yeah, a little mini grocery store.
Which did exist here when you first moved here and was...
It existed when we first moved here.
But it went out of business? Was it because there was not enough groceries? Do you know why?
I don't know what happened, but the new owners come in and they decided they're going to make an upscale restaurant out of it. They spent a lot of money converting that from a little grocery store.
My guess is that there was some rich guy's daughter or son or whatever wanted to have a hobby restaurant business, and that was a parent paying for that, and now we get to live with the shell of what that was.
Yeah. They did a beautiful job of renovating and fixed it up and making it a nice restaurant.
Yeah.
But the biggest problem, like I said, we don't have a job pool up here. We don't have a
workforce doesn't exist.
Workforce doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
And the people that are cooks and waiters and waitresses and stuff like that, they rely on tips. And so you can't expect those people to drive up here in the middle of the wintertime. Many of them don't even own a car. They have to use public transportation to get to the restaurant where they're working in the valley. So there's no job pool, period, up here.
Yeah, getting employees and then keeping them retained is going to be next to impossible because of A, location, and B, the pay, because it's going to be, I was using the metaphor of a maverick of sorts. Right. Nothing goes bad in the store if there's a snowstorm.
Right.
But people still, go get their gas and their groceries for a trip. And I think like if you're doing a little outing with your kids or your family down to the Ridge, back to your house in an evening, you don't need a lot for that to happen.
Yeah, because the outside seating there is really, really, really nice.
Yeah.
And the whole atmosphere of the whole place is really nice, but they try to do too much.
Yeah, I think they're catering to a specific market where most of the market just wants a place to congregate.
Yeah.
Right. And the pool's out in the summer, but in the winter the pool's closed, and that could be year round.
Yeah.
I agree with you on that. Yeah. So, something else I want to ask you, John, is like you have a good finger on the pulse on SunCrest. Like what keeps this place good. What should people know about the community to keep it going the direction you've kept it going? Because you've been an anchor in this community for 18 years. And I thank you for making it possible for me to, A, be aware of it and keep it nice, and then me move here. I've been here 8 years now, but there's no coincidence that it's a nice place. It's because you're here, right?
Yeah, I think the main thing is the maintenance of sometimes a little lacking.
Yeah.
And I think they need a better job or pay the people more money that they do the maintenance up here. Along the curbs down here, that shouldn't be all grass.
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't be, I should say, it should be grass with no weeds.
Mm.
When I first came here, this across the street, it was all junk, and I took pictures from down in Highland of what they did with the trees down there.
Yeah.
And then they come back and they did those trees and the rocks and this. But it should be this down here on the SunCrest Highway too. It should be fixed up.
I think we need a couple more billionaires to move in.
Yeah. But we're paying $152 a month. I always wonder, what are they doing with that money?
Yeah, well, something's happening. I'm not smart enough to know, I don't think. Yeah.
I wouldn't mind paying more money if they just fix up some of the areas where all the weeds are overgrown.
Yeah, there has been some work done on over by my house. They've been doing a good job getting that cleaned up. So I think it's a slow turn, it seems.
Yeah.
But I think people are asking for that. So that's good to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, John, what would we say is your favorite thing about SunCrest that just keeps you here still? Because you could move somewhere else, but you've chosen to stay here for the past 18 years. What's kept you here?
Well, I grew up in Rochester, New York, where they have 4 seasons.
Yeah.
And here you have 4 seasons and you have no humidity, no bugs. Yeah, no bugs up here, no mosquitoes, no black flies, no CMs, none of that stuff. And the health-wise, it's pretty good living too because we're up above the inversion. But the view up here is just absolutely fantastic. Every time we drive down the highway and see Box Elder and Lone Peak, I go, where would you ever find this again?
I think it's ruined me. Every time I travel for work or go anywhere, I just think, not as good as SunCrest. Not as good. Not in like a snubby way. In like a SunCrest is just unique. You know?
Yeah, well, I had this black belt when we first had the house built. And it's been a real asset for me ever since.
Yeah.
I have people come over. I have 2 people coming over tomorrow night for a glass of wine, and 2 ladies that live up here. We just chat and talk about whatever, you know.
That sounds like a good time.
Yeah. I invite people over and they take me up on it. They come.
Yeah. I came over, so, I mean, you have a charisma about you, John, to get people to hang out.
How did you find out about me? How did you select me to come over here to begin with?
How did I find you?
Yeah.
Well, you're in the Facebook group and you tend to comment on things on the page and you're pretty active there. And that's how I reached out to you. It was just on Facebook.
Yeah, I usually put pictures of my hummingbirds.
Yeah. And you have these feeders up and you seem like a good person to talk to because you know the area better than me.
Yeah.
You know? I feel like I'm trying to keep up with you.
I'll stay ahead of you.
Yeah.
I work hard.
What advice you got for all the millennials up here starting to get their career started or their families going? Like I'm in that boat right now, right? And you've got, what, how many years? I'm 36. You're 91. How many years is that?
Too many to count.
60 something?
Yeah.
What would you say to someone that's sitting here looking back at yourself? What would you tell somebody?
I would tell them enjoy it because it's going to pass too soon. If you have children, spend a lot of time with your children because before you know it, they're going to be grown up and gone. Every precious moment you have is Sunday afternoons to get together and with your family and make it a regular appearance. Every Sunday you get together and have a dinner and you all sit down together. Nobody leaves the table until everybody's finished eating. And you carry on a conversation that no politics and talk about family and the future and things, but don't waste any time. Sunday afternoons, it was always in our family, we always get together. And I still cherish those moments with my mom and my dad and my brothers and my sisters. And even after I got married with the kids, we always had Sunday at one of our grandparents' home. So very precious time.
Yeah. Did you ever feel like the burden and stress of just daily life and work and fixing a hotel that's upside down, and like, are you able to go back in time and shake yourself back awake, or were you aware of that back then? Like, were you?
No, I loved every minute of being in a hotel business.
Yeah.
Loved it. If you don't have a job that you love going to work for, find something that you do love.
Yeah.
I love the hotel industry, being around people and especially the employees and finding something to do every day. and try something different. Don't stick with the old true methods. Find something different to do, something that's outside the ordinary. Look outside the box, as they used to say.
And you got to experience so much outside the box decades, if you will.
Right.
I mean, you got to live through the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, 2000s, whatever the 2010s are. Is there a particular point in time where you felt, wow, this is special? Like, did something happen that you kind of got to learn or integrate into your life from those decades?
Well, the biggest thing that happened in my life was 35 years ago when I married my wife.
Yeah.
That was a big deal. She was single and I was single. Both of us were never going to get married again.
You were done.
We were done. We were never going to ever get married again. Then we met each other. We dated for about a year. So I said to her one day, we were sleeping at the lounge in the Omni Hotel in Memphis, and I said, I'm not going to marry anybody under 40. She was 39 at the time. She said, what makes you think that I would marry you? The next day she started making plans for the wedding.
How old were you at the time? You were...
I was 50. Let's see, I was 55. She was 40.
55. And you were married for 30, was it 30 years?
35 years.
Wow. That's incredible.
Yeah.
And that's like, I feel like that's like, at 50, I would be like, I guess I've like done a lot.
Yeah.
You're just getting started.
Yeah, I was 55 and she was 39 at the time.
Yeah.
And we had a beautiful wedding at the hotel. People still talk about that reception that we had. And it was a wonderful time. And then when we moved here 18 years ago, it was even better. So it was the best move we ever made.
So I'd say the best, like some of those best memories you have, or those little kids, but also that second phase of your life, so to speak, where you had that kind of newfound excitement. If you will.
It was very exciting.
Yeah.
She had 3 children. I had 3 children. So
blended it together, made it work.
I went together, and everybody had a good time. So.
Well, you're a fun person to talk with, John.
Well, fun. I'm glad to talk to you too.
Yeah.
Very excited to be here.
Yeah. We can watch it on the channel and the Facebook page. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do I do that?
I'll send you a link with the video.
Okay.
And then I'll get you the channel so you can watch every other person that did it as well.
Okay.
And I'm trying to just collect them as we go. They're like, I just like collecting these little conversations because they're meaningful. They matter. It's awesome. Yeah.
You have a good following up here?
I mean, there's like 100 people following it. So it's a good, I mean, think of it this way, 100 houses. Okay. So if you go out and start counting houses, that's like 100 houses.
Yeah.
So if that's who's listening, that's plenty of people.
Well, maybe you'll grow after this interview.
Because of your hospitality abilities, your sales abilities. Sell.
Sell. Get out there and sell. Get off your butt.
I'll put you in charge of marketing.
Okay.
What do you say?
My salary is 0.
Same. Yeah, we'll turn this thing around.
Okay, sounds good. I can't wait to see it.
Well, thanks for being on the show. And that's pretty much everything I think we had to ask, was just those basic questions. But
no, that's it. I'm fine.
The what?
That's it.
That's it. That's all, folks. Yeah.
That's it over.
Yeah. Let's do the thumbs up here.
2 thumbs up we give to this program.
Awesome. Thanks, man. That was sick.